Hello, hello, hello. Hello, can everybody hear me? Ha 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 ha. Welcome back, everybody, to Empyrion Galactic Survival. I'm KnowItAllDM. How's everybody doing today? I'm doing great. Hanging out, playing around with all the new stuff in Alpha 8.5. Now, technically, this is the experimental version, so there are some stuff that doesn't work quite right. But I want to go over some of the stuff, and we're going to, start some new games and try to see if we can locate all the new creatures and things that are in the game, or at least some of them. So, as you may be noticing right now, the first major thing is, first of all, this is the ARV Titan that I designed earlier a while back, and you may notice it's missing some turrets. And well, that, my friends, is because turrets and weapons now can retract. So when I activate the turrets, they will detract, and they will retract when I deactivate them, along with the manual weapons, which is a major new feature in the game. You turn them off, they detract, and they get health bonuses. You'll also notice that when I land and take off, that my landing gear on the ship extend and retract. Now, it doesn't always work. There are some times that this doesn't work perfectly, but for the most part, it seems to work all right. Now, there's also, I also wanted to show you what it does closer up. And so we're going to come down to the landing area, the shuttle bay here, and I've modified this is basically experimental. Alpha 8.5 is dropping tomorrow. Which, by the way, thank you for joining us. Let me see. Let me try to pronounce it. El Deviso, I believe, is how that would be pronounced. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the stream. So I modified the Falcon here. This is the Mark IV Falcon, and I modified it just slightly, but basically, I'm not going to update anything on the workshop. I'm not going to overwrite it or anything, because all I did was I changed the landing pads to the small landing gear, and then I just keyed the weapons into weapon groups. So I keyed the weapons for this into a weapon system, and as you can see, the weapons extend when you activate them, and when you deactivate them, they retract. Now, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the way that they look when they're retracted, but you can texturize them with the texture tool. The downside to this, and I'm gonna come out and show you guys on the thrusters what the downside to this is. I have to go inside here. The downside to texturizing them is they only texture up and down, or, around. You can't rotate that texture. So for the thrusters, for most of my things, I'm going to leave them untextured. Can you texture this, I wonder? Yes. Good. Does it texture the interior? It does. Okay, that's something that's a little bothersome, because I'd rather be able to texture the interior like this and the exterior like that, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. In fact, if that's the case, I might just leave them untextured. I'll probably need to recolor them. Actually, let's use that. There we go. I'll probably just leave these untextured for now, and I might texture them based on the exterior. I don't know. But that's basically the changes for the ship designs. You've got the retracting and extending turrets, which only these down here extend if I've got both blue and red alert active, because that means you're in the atmosphere. And when I deactivate blue alert, the upper ones also are active. There is a retractable version of this, but I decided not to use it, as I would have to redesign this room and bring it down a little bit. And so I decided just to leave it as it was, because I would have to bring all these lights down to this level, and the thing would take up this second level here, right down here. It would have to come all the way down to this level to be where it is. So I decided to leave it as an exterior turret. I might change that in the future, but for now, that's what I'm doing. Paul Kelly, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us today. But as I showed, the landing gear retracted when I hit the ground, when I got close to the ground, or detracted, I don't know. But as you can see, when I do it with this, let me flight systems off, and they did not, because there's a bug currently where sometimes they do and sometimes they do not. It's weird. If I were to leave the game and come back, they'd still be still be extended, but then if I land and get back up, it works like 30% of the time, I would say. So they're still working on getting the landing gear to work perfectly. I would prefer, as would a lot of people, to be able to just press a button and, you know, like key landing gear to a button. And if you don't put the landing gear out, you know, it goes down too far or something. And maybe if you don't have the landing gear extended, a small vessel or hover vessel, well, I guess hover vessels don't have landing gear, but like if you didn't have it extended, you would have it so, that's not the ship I meant to turn off. You would have it so it wouldn't dock if the landing gear aren't extended, or something to that effect. You know, that's something that I would prefer. I also added these into here as internal defenses, which I keyed to an intruder alert, and those will go on and they'll turn off. I should have done that a long time ago, but so that's basically what the update for shipbuilding is. In addition to that, they have slightly modified the textures. As you can see in here, it's like a slight difference, but what a major thing they have done that I want to show off is in here. You can actually configure the colors that you use. So you can create a custom color palette. Let's say if I use it here, and then, you know, I wanted to change something like this one, and I wanted to say make it redder. I could, let's see. How would I make it redder? Like red, green, and blue down there, and yeah, that's like pure red, which that is the same, but I can change the, you know, that, or if I wanted to add a little bit green into it and change the type of orange or purple that I wanted, or some combination of that, you know, make it greener or blue-green. So you've got any type of color, and you've got the RGB value that you can just type in if you wanted. Not entirely sure what all this is. I think this is like the hue or something, and this is, I don't know. Let's see if I do the hue. Yeah, this goes through the rainbow of colors all the way from red back to red. And then this is like the shade or something. And then this, I don't know. This is like the darker value, and this is the lighter value. I don't know. But basically, you can do white, black, any gray in between. So you can change all the colors that you want. So, I don't know how to get rid of this. There's no delete button or whatever. Let's just preset default. That's preset default 1, preset. Oh, interesting. So you've got a, and that's just always going to be your current one. So, all right, let's just cancel everything, configure, and one still stayed. Ah, that's fine. I'm probably going to end up using it later anyway. But you can also apply to the whole block or replace mode down here instead of in various areas. With the textures, apply to whole block is still up there, and all this is just exactly the same with slightly, I don't know, more intense textures inside there or something. It's weird. But anyway, so I think that's all that they did with the big ships. But as you'll see somewhere down here, I've got a mini pod. Let me look at the map. This way. Over here. So over here, I have a mini pod. Let me make it day so that, stop. Go back to being bright. Okay. So one thing that they did add, which people have been wanting, is a modular wing thing. Now they do still have the standard wing blocks, but they have a modular wing thing that you can add to small vessels. And I'm going to go ahead and put a symmetry zone there. And basically, you can just add like that and then add a medium one. Or you can, instead of that, add a medium one of a different type. Like so. And then, you know, if you wanted, you could theoretically, let's say you take a medium trapezoid here, or let's just go ahead and do a large trapezoid. Let's do a large delta and flip this around. Let's flip that around like this and connect it to there. And then let's go ahead and extend this even further. Let's grab a large trapezoid. Actually, I think that's, yeah, let's do that. And then let's grab, you know, let's see a medium delta. Let's flip this around like so. And then let's do a small rhombus. Okay. So now I've got bat wings, you know, and you can modularize this in just about any way you want, you know. I mean, you could add medium, like small straight to large, but if you say added, let's do a medium delta onto here and then a small angled trapezoid there. I mean, it's a little better if you go from large to medium to small, or, you know, large to medium to large to medium to smaller, you know, whatever. But they also have these connectors that connect medium and large, which I haven't exactly figured out what they're for. Because like when you connect them, they connect fluidly to that, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it looks like a gun, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, it looks like a gun, but it's just, you know, aesthetic. So it's weird. But I mean, you can add those to the end of the things. And so like even just with this simple mini pod, I can, and it's supposed to be like this way. Even with the simple mini pod, I can add just about any style of wing to it and make it look good. You know, it looks a lot better than just a simple mini pod. And it flies a little bit different because of the wings. But, I mean, just because the wings add to the width of it that it has to rotate at when I'm doing the Q and E rotation. So, you know, keep that in mind when designing things and putting extra wings on it. If I were to go ahead and put wings on this, I would probably just do this. If I just wanted to add wings to a mini pod. But, you know, you can design various things like I showed you with the bat wings before. Or let's see what the most outrageous thing I can come up with. Let's see. If I do this, and then like I did before, do a straight medium, and then do a delta large, like so. And then a large, let's see. What if I did a large, do I want to do a large trapezoid, or let's do a large straight. Like that. And then let's do a large delta back, and then do a large delta forward, and then flip it around and do a medium delta forward. Actually, no, let's do a medium rhombus forward, and then let's end this with medium connectors. Now we've got a wingspan on this thing, but if I wanted to add weaponry to it, like let's say some bomb things, you'll notice that they're a little bit lower from the wing than is aesthetically pleasing. So what they did is they added a pylon in here. And what the pylons do, you add them to the opposite side of the wing that you would want to put the weapon. So like if I put it here, here, there, and there, you've got pylons now down on the bottom here, and you can go ahead and attach these, and it looks like they're holding on. You don't need the pylons for it to actually physically be attached, but the pylons just make it so that it looks like it's physically there. So now I've got a mini pod with, you know, bombs underneath it. Let's go ahead and add a few more pylons. Let's add one here, and then one here, and I don't think I need to put a pylon there because I've that. Let's go ahead and grab some Gatling guns. Where's the Gatling gun? 6 Gatling guns. If I put this here, it's slightly detached. So that's a no-go. But if I put this and that, now we've got guns on the outside of our long-winged mini-pod. And it's so heavy, the mini-pod can't hold it up. I mean, it can't hover anyway. So now we've got a wide turning radius mini-pod with a bunch of weapons and some weird looking wings. Now, one thing that I think would be interesting, that I think actually might look better, Thunderlane, welcome to the stream. Sorry I didn't notice you there. I was busy messing around with the modular wings. Oh, I really ought to reattach that. Let's go ahead and... Okay. So now, let's see if I take this and have it flipped this way, and then no, let's do large, medium, small, like that. Now we've got a little anti-ray, I guess, that's, you know, facing... let's do this, okay? Let's do straight large, delta large, rhombus medium, and then small. There we go. Now, if we add pylons to the underside here, let's put a pylon here and there so we can add weapons here and there. And then actually, let's get rid of those. Let's flip the pylon around and put it here so that I've got it on top for some guns, and then flip it around again and put it here. And then just add a couple of gats up on top. There we go. Now, of course, that looks really weird, but I mean, it's just a lot of things that you can do with these wings. And at the tips here, let's see, if I added this straight to the tip, it actually connects. So you can add things on the tips of the wings, and you can use pylons to make it look like they're connected to the wings themselves, and have just about any design of ship. Yeah, let's put some railguns on there instead. That's a good idea. Let's put railguns right there. Now, let's go ahead and auto group everything. And then I'm going to key weapons to custom 2. And I'm going to call this weapon systems. Now, when you deactivate the weapon systems on this thing, all the weapons retract. And you've just got this flight thing with the little boxes. Now, I don't really like this up here. And I would prefer these be like in the middle back here. But this is just like I said, like a little test thing. And then you can activate the weapon systems. And all your weapons come out. And like I said before, you can texturize these in any texture that you want. So, like, if you were to turn off the weapon system and you were to have this, say, built into something, you can still see this, and it says stand clear. That part doesn't get covered up. Unfortunately, they have not made hotkeys for it yet. That, I think, is one of the next things that they're planning on. And if they do, they're probably gonna like let you assign like 1 through 10 to these here, and that's it. So, which would be fine, you know, like put weapons under 1, 2, or 3, and then like 5, 6, and 7 to hotkeys or something like that. That would be fine to me, and that's my theory of what they will end up doing. But they haven't actually said anything about it yet. So, but that, in addition to the turrets that I was showing before, let's see if I can get back over here, because I know Thunderlane didn't see this, but those of you who joined my stream early got to see this. So you'll notice I updated the what you call this, the ARV Titan, and I updated it with hidden turrets. And whenever you activate the red alert, when blue alert is not activated, all the turrets pop up, and you've got your weapon system. That includes these over here and the turrets in the front. So deactivate red alert, and all the weapons go back down. The lower ones only do it the lower ones do it all the time, whether you're in the atmosphere or in space. And blue alert is letting it know when the atmosphere is. Also, I've modified up here so that I can activate the drill turret or the multi-turret, or both at the same time. So you can go ahead and just hide those. And now when you place them, you'll notice I had to change the design of this, because before this was just a cross of squares and then diagonals. But that's because the bottom part of the weapons actually go down in there. They've also conglomerated the weapons into projectile weapons, rockets, and lasers, as well as tools and artillery. So with the projectiles, you've got your cannon turrets and your minigun turrets, which in capital vessels, that means they had to change a little bit of this. So when you get to level 7, you can unlock your projectile turrets, then your rocket turrets, then your laser turrets, then your artillery turrets. And so this unlocks cannon and minigun. This unlocks rocket and flak. The laser unlocks the pulse laser and the plasma. And of course, the artillery is just the artillery. Now, you can add the non-retractable turrets like normal. And instead of being limited based on the type, they're limited based on the category. So you can have up to 12 projectile turrets. So if you wanted, you could have 12 miniguns, and that's it. With the rockets, you're limited to 10. Same with the lasers. So you can, with the rockets, say if you wanted 10 rocket turrets, you could do that, or 10 flak turrets, or like before, 6 and 4. And same with the pulse lasers, you can have 10 plasma, 10 laser, or, you know, any combination. And before it was 6 and 4. Now, the retractable ones, you'll notice, are a 2x1, and so are the regular ones. Now, I don't know if I agree with that, but they did that so you can't box them in as well. So, you know, it's a little, you know, different. But in addition to that, as I was showing off before, let's see if I can get it to work now. Nope, they did not retract. So the landing gear, as I was saying before, is also supposed to retract. and it only works about 30% of the time. So you should be able to see it when the ship comes down. It'll get close, and then the landing gear will retract. And then, why are my thrusters? Am I out of fuel or something? Yeah, I'm out of fuel. Okay. But you'll notice that the landing gear, when I get down, extend to the ground, and then they retract when I get off the ground. And like I said, this only works about 30% of the time right now, but they're working on that. So let's just go ahead, take off blue alert, turn off the gravity to save power. And so those are the ship updates. That, in addition to what I showed off before, the color palette modifications that you can make utilizing the RGB color, as well as hue, shade, and variance or something like that. I don't know. But in any case, so those are the things I was most excited for. But there are still a few differences that we have to start a new game for to show off. And let's just do regular default random. Go ahead, start on here. So we're going to start on the temperate planet, and I'm going to show off some of the stuff that they've got in here. They did a lot of updates to AI behaviors and the like, and they've changed and added some new creatures. Any save game that was pre-alpha 8.5 should theoretically have the old creatures, but the new creatures will show up whenever you start a new game or load a new planet that you haven't been to yet. Theoretically. Oh yes, 10 rockets is much better than 6 rockets for flag. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and start off by coming here. Oh look, there's an ancient shelter right here where we start. Let's just skip the Robinson Protocol, which is fine because I'm not going to need it. For some reason, we did not start in a starter biome. There's an ancient shelter right here, which looks like our wreckage or something of the like. Now, let's see if I do this. There might not be a starter biome anymore. There goes our thing crashing. So we might want to take a look at this and start a new game sometime and see if we can... No core present. Okay. See if we can figure out if like some of the new stuff, because it looks like they've changed a little bit. But the main things that I'm wanting to do, there's a crash DSE. Wow, we started near a lot of things. Let's do this and then advance time by 24 hours and see if we can get some of the new creatures spawning. I don't know if they are... I mean, they're supposedly like hot, like sort of hostile, but not 100% hostile. So this is new. Or maybe I just haven't been to the DSE front before. Or DSE mid. I don't remember this room here. But anyway. Because the new creatures, let's see. They've got alien insects, which are like the little cricket things. Okay, so there is small wreckage and wreckage. I don't know. Let's see, if we look at the map. Unknown helix, old armory, ancient shelter, unknown. All right, here's the small wreckages and the wreckage. So it looks like this is the starter biome over here. So for some reason, I did not start at the starter biome, which is weird, but not entirely unexpected from an alpha game. Oh yeah, that's one thing I did forget. They added in the hover vessels a new hover thruster, which basically, if I'm not mistaken, is let's go ahead and check this out. Spawn any blueprint. Let's go ahead and spawn in one of our basic hover vessels. That I want. Let's see. There. So there's that, which had thrusters and hover engines and everything. With this, if I'm not mistaken, go ahead and give me a tier 2 multi-tool. There's hover engine, RCS, thruster. Okay, so it should be missing hover engines, RCS, and thruster. If we go ahead and do this like so, and let's get some fuel. The hover thrusters count as a minor RCS movement systems to go forward, back, left, right, and to hover. Which, let's see, in the tech tree, the hover thruster is just its own thing before you get the hover engines. Bonjo, welcome to the stream. Slingshot, I did see your comment and I mentioned the comment, but welcome to the stream as well. So the hover thruster, let's see, its torque is 4, whereas the RCS's torque is 120. So the torque is extremely small, kilonewtons, and the force is 5, which is less than the small thrusters. But in a pinch, this means you can make a hover vessel without having to get the RCS or the small thrusters. It also, let's see, I think that force 5, let's see, mass is 200. Yeah, this is also heavier than a regular hover engine. So if you can, those give better output, and this is lighter, and you can put as many as you want on there, whereas this you can only put 4 maximum. So that's where, you know, with this, start off slow, build up speed. and you can only hover 1.5 meters off the ground. That's also something that I'm noticing. Whereas the other hover engines, you can hover up to 3 meters off the ground. So an absolute basic hover vessel now. Let's see if, let's recreate the raft real quick, okay? Let's just get rid of those. I don't need those. Let's see. I'll throw those away. I don't need those. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading the comments. Let's put a hover starter. 4 of those, because that's the maximum that you can do. 1 of each of those, and that. So if I do this, that, this, this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've got the absolute basic hover vessel. So this would actually work really well as a basic raft in whatchamacallit, in my shipwrecked scenario, because you can build it at level 1 because you don't need to get to level 3 for the thrusters, and you don't need the RCS. You can just build it once you have the resources, because all this unlocks at 0. And then in small vessel, you still have to get, where's the RCS and stuff, thrusters and the like. You still have to get to level 7 before you can actually do a working small vessel. But so you can build this thing here that I just did as soon as you start the game, once you get the resources for it. Let me see something real quick. A portable constructor. Oh yeah, they've also added a deconstructor that we'll take a look at in the creative mode in a bit. But so for the level 1 hover vessel stuff, you've got everything you need right here, already unlocked, and you can build it in here. Minaj, welcome to the stream. So you can actually make a level 1 hover vessel now, utilizing simply generator, fuel tank, cockpits, and hover thrusters. And it doesn't do too badly, except that it gets stuck underwater, apparently. But, I mean, it's got half the hover height of a regular hover vessel. Even, when you put all 4 on there, its rotation isn't as good as a single, RCS. And its thrust is, let's see, what was it for the hover vessel? The thrust in this, the force is 40 kilonewtons, whereas the thrust on this is 5. So with all 4, the maximum you can put in there, you have half the thrust of a single directional small thruster. So it's good to start off with, so that you can start off building a hover vessel once you have the materials. But when you can, you're definitely going to want to update that to to the blue ones. That being said, I don't know if we can find the other creatures, but we can definitely spawn them in. So the new creatures that we can spawn in, I don't remember what it would be called. There we go. That is the new aquatic creature. And you can see me over here. And you can come after me in the water. Now, this does not mean that you can actually use weapons underwater. So, if you see this thing swimming about underwater, it's gonna be a little weird. Now, let's see. Give me... And as you can see, it actually tells you things that the creatures that you mouse over and the amount of health that they have. So they give milk and meat, which is interesting. I don't know where that one under there went, but... Oh, I like that. I like that. Did you see where it said no time limit? So if you go underwater and then you start suffocating, you'll notice right away, no oxygen, no time limit. What that means is that the things inside there, the things inside the thing, see where it says well fed, no time limit? The stats actually shows the time limit left on it before it either mutates to the next one or disappears. Well fed is a new stat buff that you get if you're at above 480, I believe, food. And what it does is you'll notice 485 apparently. You'll notice that that when I'm well fed, I regenerate a certain amount of health over time. And now that my stamina is full, I shouldn't be reducing food as quickly. But so I will actually regenerate health until I'm at full while I am well fed. Yeah, they must have fixed the thing where you can see your own health bar. So let's see. Another creature that they added to, this one should be easier to find. Well, let's look at this. Let's look at our map. I believe that's a lava planet. I want to find the desert starter. Or arid starter, I suppose. That's probably it there. Yeah, iron, copper, silicon, and permian. So teleport Milak. Okay. So here we are on Milak. Now, usually in areas around the water and sometimes in the desert, there are, let's go straight south. and I think in there as well, in the radiated biomes. But there are new arachnids that take the place of the old, well, the old arachnids. We're gonna see if we can find some. I think they spawn in the sand biome. Which is, let's see, here's the dunes. Oh, they also updated the desert worm, which is a daytime creature. This is rocks, sand. There's an Atyug. Apparently the Atyug, they did a new texture for the Atyug. Which makes it look absolutely nothing like the Atyug from classic Dungeons and Dragons, but it does have a nice, let's do this. There. Okay, you can still see me because you saw me while I was there. You, on the other hand, should not be able to see me. So the Atyug looks different, and it has a slightly different behavior as well. Now, if I can find those arachnids, I think the arachnids are the spiders that you're talking about. Let's see. Wreckage, drone base. There's the alien tower. Let's see if I can spawn in an arachnid. Let's see. Originally, I wonder if it's still the same cave worm. Yeah. So this is the new cave worm that they call arachnid. What do the others look like, I wonder? Cave worm green and cave worm white. Okay, so the cave worm white is a large arachnid. The cave worm gray, I believe, is this one, and the cave worm green is this little one. Let me make it day. So yeah, you can see back there that's white, green, and red. That's what it is. Which I believe the red is the one that's called gray. And so they kept the same Atyug sound for the Atyug. That's good. It makes more sense the way it looks now. But now you've got these different arachnids that spawn in. So these will spawn in on this planet. And so will these, I believe. These spawn in the frozen planets, in the frost biomes, and in the colder biomes of temperate planets. Okay, so I think that's... Oh, no, they have... these are the new desert worm models. They act exactly the same. They just look, you know, a lot different. Okay, I fell and broke my leg. So yeah, I like this model a lot better. Yeah, no, now everything's gonna be all fuzzy. Give me a base starter, give me a armor locker, and then give me, just give me light armor, that's all. Hold on. Is that the new, yeah, new epic heavy armor. So they introduced new epic armor into the game along with, what was the other one? There's another epic something that they introduced. I don't remember what it was. But so you've got the enhanced weapons and then you've got this epic armor. Let's see. Epic armor. Okay, epic armor has no boosters of any kind, but its temperatures are extremely large. So any cold to any heat pretty much. Up to 40 rads, 1,000 armor value. Compare that to regular heavy armor, that's like more than double the regular armor value. And all of its other stats are even better than light armor. So epic armor, look at that, it's got 1,000 oxygen. Epic armor can be found in I believe and the epic drill, that was the other one. I believe that they have them so that they can be found in special event containers, which have their own unique color and design, it looks like. That's almost the same as this. Actually, it is the same as this, just colored. Okay. But the special events container can hold epic drills and epic armor. Now I wonder, let's take a look, compare the epic drill, not to the debug drill, to the drill tier 2. So they've done a new model for the tier 2 drill, combining the aspects of the old drill, and it appears the survival tool with the little rim thing, and then the epic drill has more of the old part in it. Looking at the difference in stats, the epic drill has max range of 9 meters, although when it's equipped, yeah, 9 meters. Whereas the tier 2 drill is 7 meters. That really looks like the only difference is the range of it, as opposed to the difference in the mechanical drill and the, where's the mechanical drill? Well, the difference in those is also reload time and that, but there is a big difference. So I'm wondering for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, okay, so the epic drill not only has a longer range, but also digs faster. But it uses drill charges at the same rate. But it basically does more damage to the ground per. And let's see, with the tier 2, it takes 2 shots to get rid of that. With the epic, it's also 2. So let's see, with this it goes from 60 to 20. And over here, it also goes from 60 to 20. So when it comes to the actual rocks that you hit, it doesn't do any different except for the range. But when you're digging in the ground, it has a large difference. Because if I do this, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a little bit different digging straight down. But let's see. It looks like it digs through that rock a decent amount quicker. It could be about the same. I don't know. But the longer range is a good thing. So you've got the epic drill and the epic armor. Let's just get rid of all those. I don't need it. So that's another thing that they've added different in here. What else did they do? Let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to open it up on my phone to see what the patch notes for it say. In addition to all that I've shown off so far, let's see, in the original anniversary update part 1, let's see, modular wings, we showed that off. Let's see, they added the ability to create blinking lights. Let's head back to the creative mode. Let's just delete that because that's pointless. Let's see, you can add blinking lights. Possibility to use a light as a spotlight. The color palette, which I showed off. Texturing. Turrets. The deconstructor is something I need to show off. Which the deconstructor would be something I need to add to the Titan anyway. Let's take a look in here and see where the deconstructor falls. Is it capital vesselable or not? You would think it would be, but I don't see it in here. There's the deconstructor under the furnace. So the deconstructor might be base only. Let's just devices. Yeah, the deconstructor is apparently base only, which means that you have to connect it to a stationary structure. So here's the deconstructor input output. It looks like it works similar to the furnace because there's no thing to choose, but there is an on off. So if I were to, let's just do this. Cannot be deconstructed further. But those, let's see, and if I just do, let's just grab some random items and see if we can deconstruct them. And see what we get back. Okay. All right, so some ammo you cannot deconstruct, some you can. Let's see what we got. Okay. So it's deconstructing them to intermediate components. You cannot deconstruct intermediate components further. I figured not. Let's wait a bit and see what all those deconstruct you into. I'm interested to see if these give you back the kits. It probably does not, but it would be interesting if it did. The blinking lights. This is something that I want to add. Maybe not to the Titan, but let's come over here a little bit of a ways. And I want to spawn in this and add blinking lights to this, or potentially blinking lights. I'll probably have them turn on and off. I want flares, not actual lights. So what I want to do is I want to put these out here. Now, the reason I didn't texturize these is, like I said before, when you do it, it only makes it go up and down on the thrusters, which gets really, really, really annoying to me. So, okay, let's put this here and there. And then let's put it here and here. Okay. Now, let's see if I can remember. Red ones go on which side and green ones go on which side? Red is on the port and green is on the starboard. So this is the starboard, so you need to be green. And you need to be green. And you need to be red. And you need to be red. Why, Storm, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Sky Gamer, also welcome to the stream. I didn't see your little thing there. Okay, let's see if I can figure out. Okay. You got blink frequency, blink delay, blink length. Okay. If I delay it by 50%, let's see if I do this right. Blink delay. %, 50%, 1 second. And then can I see both at the same time? There. So left, right, left, right. All right. Now, the question is that how they actually blink or not? I think that's how I need them to blink. So, and they don't use up a lot of resources doing that. Sky Gamer, thank you so much for being a loyal fan and watching. You did not retract either. I wonder if why can I not lift off? No, I don't need hard burn. How about that? There we go. And then if I get close, will you retract? No. Because if I'm up here, it's supposed to retract, and when I get down, it's supposed to go down, but I don't know. And let's turn off basic flight. Let us... Alright, let's... auto group. Let's go ahead. RCS. Oh, hello. It's about time. Sorry. The turn off Atmo. So when I auto grouped just now, the yes, they did add an ore detector for an SV. That is something that I had forgotten as well. But when I turned off the, or when I auto grouped, the old groups kept their shortcuts, which is awesome. But I do need to add flight lights. And in... I know somewhere there are flares. Flares. Let's just add the flares to basic flight. So... like that, and then I can just take away flight lights. Alright, so now when I activate my thrusters, the blinking lights will be on, and they alternate sides, and then I can do that and turn them off, and the blinking lights stop. Perfect. That was something I was meaning to do as well. Let's see. So yes, for the small vessel. Well, first let's go ahead and check and see what components this has broken it down into. So the stuff it's broken down into so far. Alright, so it goes to some to ingots, others to intermediate components. That's fine. That's all I really need. Did you run out of fuel? No? Why are you... Oh, you're just working slowly. That's fine. Let's see. Let's go ahead and TSV Spock 2. So this is the small vessel that's meant to go with the TSV Leo. Now, I made it so that it has everything you need on the interior, but what I want to do is add a detector, which I don't think it's an ore detector, but it's like the POI detectors. Oh, and it's just this little tiny bump. That's cool. I can just put that in here somewhere. Let's put this... I'm not sure where I should put it. Let's just put it right there, you know, because why not? Okay, so now I've got a detector inside the TSV Leo. Or the TSV Spock. So overwrite that. And then you... Oh. That was weird. You overwrite that. So now I've got the TSV Spock that can land on top. Ah! This is the back. The TSV Spock 2, which can land on top of the TSV Leo 2. Like so. And it's not perfect landing, but, you know, whatever. I mean, it does fit perfectly. I just didn't land it perfectly. And there we go. So, I honestly don't know if the detector detects asteroids. My guess would be no, but I don't know. There's a way we can find out. Let's do this real quick and then spawn something into a survival mode. Let's go ahead and forget about that. Let's do ARV dromedary. And let's get us a detector. And let's put said detector right there. Now, okay. If I walk, I can't go across there, but what about this side? I can get to there and access that. I can still access that even though that's there. That's fine. Okay, so this is the Dromedary Mark 1. I'm going to go ahead and overwrite that. And let's see if we can detect things in space. Did it not work? For some reason, it did not want to load. Okay. Maybe this was all whacked out, which sometimes happens when I... why is... Oh, that, right. That's all screwed up because I haven't gotten it set up yet. Default random. Let's go back. Okay. So now that we've got default random actually working, Thunderlane, the kittens are actually doing quite well. We got them spayed last week and they're recovered from that and they're all as playful as ever. But they're a little too big for me to actually have on my shoulders both at the same time anyway, but they're getting big. I'm gonna go ahead and hit let's go, and we're gonna do this quickly too. Just so that we can okay, check inventory, so that we can actually see. Okay, now I'm in the starter biome again, which is good, but last time I started I didn't start in the starter biome, so I'm probably just going to ignore that because I don't think they changed anything in the Robinson protocol. Okay, let's do spawn any blueprint. Let's go ahead and spawn the dromedary. Let's allow this and grab some fuel. And let's grab some oxygen. It's odd that oxygen and fuel are different. That oxygen is an ammunition and fuel is in the fuel. Okay. Oxygens. And fuel, I believe, is... I'm just going to have to do this. Okay. I might have to rekey the flight systems for some reason. No? There we go. Flight systems are on. Let's head. Okay. Now, let's just quickly take a look at what this actually says. Show the global direction of detected ore deposit or POI on the HUD. It says it does not work in space. So that answers that question there. Comparing it to the hover vessel detector. Hover vessel detector range 2500. Hit points 120. Energy 5. Okay, so just looking at this, which I could have done before, but I didn't. It looks like the detector is just like the hover vessel detector. in that it does not work in space, but it only works on the ground. I think the reason for that is that they're having difficulty with the detection of space-based stuff, to the point where they just decided to do it on the ground for now. But at least now we've got detectors that can detect POIs and ore deposits in here. But that and the modular wings are the two new things that they've added for small vessels. You can also do blinking lights with small vessels and all, but I think that's everything. Let me go back to my little looking thing here, and let's see. Hey, come on. Okay, oh, this is the release candidate. I want the first one. And then I'll go to the second one and see what they've added to that. Yeah, the guns we know already retract. I've already pointed that out. This thing doesn't actually have any weaponry on it. It's just a transport. Yeah, you can do lights as spotlights. Let's head back to the creative mode. Lights as spotlights. It's got we showed the blinking, the retractable turrets, deconstructor, the new creatures, improved turret behavior. Yeah, it's okay. I'm heading back in here so I can just show those as well. They added more to the turret behavior as well, so I can show that as well. Let's see. Let's get back over here to the Titan. And the Titan, as you can see, like I said earlier, has the retractable turrets that when you activate red alert, the weapons and turrets and everything extend. But if you just want to look at the turret behavior in here, they've got prey, predator, or alien / player factions. So if you want it to attack alien factions but not player factions, you can do that. You can also do prey or predator, just like before. But you can change this now so that it selects to attack only NPCs, drones, hover and players, hover vessels, small vessels, capital vessels, or bases, and you can select what part on it you want it to attack. So now I've got the rockets and plasma turrets on here, so they only attack turrets of bases and capital vessels. Whereas everything else attacks both turrets and thrusters, so that if you're going up against a capital vessel and you want to raid it, that the rockets will take out the turrets quickly, but it won't take out the thrusters because rockets do a lot more damage to everything else. If you're trying to take it out as quickly as possible, or as efficiently as possible, you'll want the rockets attacking the turrets while the miniguns, cannons, lasers, and flak turrets and all attack the thrusters. I also have retractable drill and multi-turrets, which are independently operated. I left this up, like I said before, because if I put it in its box, it would have to take up this entire height here, and that would come down to here in this area, and I didn't want to redesign the interior there. Which that interior was why I built it up this high in the first place. But they also have retractable landing gear. Whenever you take off, it retracts, and whenever you land, it goes back down. So far, it's worked about 30% of the time for me. Like, let's see if we can get this one to actually function now. Nope, its things did not retract, or did they? Yeah, I think that is the retracted. Let's, it's hard to tell, but if I come out here, oh, and I'm stuck. But, no, I don't think they retracted at all. But the capital vessel tends to retract more often than the small vessel when I take off, so you won't get as good a view. But let's see, blue alert. Yeah, you can see the that when I get close to the ground, the landing gear extend to the ground. And when I get up off the ground, they retract up. It's not extremely noticeable, but it's more noticeable on small vessels. But right now I don't have any small vessels that it seems to be working on. It usually works on the ground. So let's see if it seems to work on the ground more than it does on. Yeah, it's not working at all for this one. Let's see if I do that. Oh, and there we go. And then hold on, no, those were the larger ones. I wanted that. Oh, wrong way. No, that was the right way. Duh. So this, and that. Now you should be able to see it easier if my power were on. That when I come down, why are they not? They're not coming down at all. Are those not the retractable ones? Did I get the wrong thing? I don't know. Maybe I did. Okay. Okay, so now Well, now I'm just hovering because the things on these don't seem to work right now. But you saw the ones on the capital vessel. So they're still having problems with the extendable landing gear. The extendable landing gear they're having problems with, but they seem to do okay on the capital vessel most of the time. I have had them fail to retract when I took off at one point, but they seem to be working all right now. I should put something in here, like, I don't know, but I should put something in here, maybe an O2 tanks or something. But I think that I've shown off everything in the thing. They added a new moon type. They added a new moon called Nascent Moon. They updated lava planets to have a higher temperature and higher creature spawning and stuff. They updated the AIs on the raptors, lizard mules, and alien bug 4s. I showed off the better target info, the special event containers. Oh, they re-added the quick loot to drone wreckages and dead corpses, so you can hit Shift F on dead things and loot them. Why did you not spawn? Oh, there you are, way over there. So if I come up to these things and just hit Shift F, if it's already been looted, it just opens it, but if it hasn't, it'll give you the stuff in it. That's cool. I like that. Let's check out our deconstructor. See, yep, it's deconstructed everything that I threw in there, and we've got little bits. So that's cool. But yeah, I think I've shown off everything. Let's see if there's something I forgot that they added to the second part, or the let's see, part 2. Page 1. Okay, let's see. What did they add? Retractable landing gear, I already showed that. Destruction of decorations by vehicles. I'm guessing that means if you run into them or something. Blink setting for flares, already showed that out. Max count to turret groups, which I showed off. Better status effects for shower and survival tent. Set neutral body temperature. Sniper zoom distance. I don't know what it means by the sniper zoom distance. Maybe they had deactivated it for some reason. I don't know. I showed off the epic drill, epic armor, texture tool preview, texture, better contrast of textures. Good night, Thunderlane. Showed you the model for the drill tier 2. I think that's basically it. Exporting now, energy idle, other changes, things. Okay, I think that's basically it. I think I showed off everything for the update. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream. It's been about an hour and 45 minutes. So I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. If I forgot something and you wanted to see it, let me know in the comments down below. And I will try to cover that later in a video or something. And I will probably be showing off more update stuff tomorrow when the update actually comes out in full release, if they have additional changes. Which, of course, I would be recording it tomorrow and you guys would see it later. But I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button for me. And if you want to see more Empyrion Galactic Survival, go ahead and subscribe. I'm KnowItAllDM. Thank you everybody for joining me. And as always, y'all have a good day now.